Hello, my name is Chappie Floyd. I'm the Vice President of Discovery Innovations with EBSCO Information Services. The purpose for this training video is to walk you through using EBSCO Discovery Service. I'm going to use one of our customized profiles called North Carolina BioTech Center. Your profile may be configured differently, but the operational aspects of this training should be the same. But first, let's talk about the different ways that your organization may have been configured to access EBSCO Discovery Service. One possibility is through a portal page. A portal page is a place that you would go typically within your intranet, and you'll be presented with multiple options for research. This could be defined by disciplines like sales and marketing, business and leadership, engineering and research, or all external resources. You may even have specific radio buttons for things like your internal documents or your library catalog. This allows your search page to search these resources separately. You may also find links to other resources that are either not part of your discovery service or simply also need to be highlighted due to your particular search requirements. In either case, a portal page is a way that you can very quickly populate your search terms and start your search. Another way your search might be initiated is from an intranet page. You may have an internal page with multiple resources, information about your organization, and on this page, a widget could be presented like this. This widget gives you the ability to very easily conduct a search of your EBSCO Discovery Service by simply populating a search term and hitting the search icon. This page can also be configured to give you access to other resources that have nothing to do with EBSCO Discovery Service, but your library has wanted to give you a single point of contact for conducting your searches, or at least beginning them, from a commonly used intranet page. However, the most typical way that an organization will begin using EBSCO's Discovery Service is by simply navigating to the site via a URL. In many cases, this process of saving that URL for future reference can be a little bit confusing. For companies that have IP authentication to EBSCO, simply typing in search.ebscohost.com from your browser anytime you're within your organization's IP range will take you directly to your discovery service. If you're presented with an ID password, as I am on this page, and you have been given an ID password, you can simply populate that, and it will also take you into your discovery service. Once you've gotten to your discovery service, you will have the desire to save the bookmark to get you here in the future. Saving a bookmark will not work with entering discovery service this way. Basically, as you have accessed the page, we've replaced your original bookmark information with what's called a session manager. So this will not work, or it will time out at some point in the future. The way that you would want to ensure that you're able to return to this page would be to request an EDS bookmark for import file, like the one that I have here on my desktop. Once you've received that file, all you would need to do is go to the browser of choice and select your import option. In this case, I want to import an HTML file. Simply navigate to where that file lives and click Import. Once you've imported that file, you simply have to go to that bookmark and select it. This way, you will always be able to navigate to that particular page. So, once you've identified your particular way of accessing EBSCO's Discovery Service, you have access to the most comprehensive index of journals, magazines, and ebooks for conducting research. Once you've accessed your profile, you have the ability to easily access our help information. One place where we have help access is in the upper right hand corner. By simply clicking the help link, it will take you to the entire guide for help using EBSCO's Discovery Service. Here to the left will be your table of contents of the help features. So if you want to look at something like proximity searching, simply click that and it will take you directly to how you can structure your searches to search either with the near operator, which will find words if they are within a certain group, or the within operator, which finds words when they are within in specific order. Also, from this page, you have access to our video tutorial by clicking here, and it will take you to our YouTube page. Help can also be accessed from the search page by clicking the question marks. So we've got a question mark in different places within the search parameters, and that is another way that you can access help. If you click on the question mark, it will take you again directly to the help screen, but this time specific to that particular area. So because I'm looking at basic search, it takes me to the basic search help. If I go into the advanced search and I select my search modes help, it takes me to that. Typically, the way I like to start this demonstration is by asking, what resources do you use today? Specifically in the field of biotechnology or pharmaceutical, our customers will gravitate towards PubMed as a resource or Google Scholar as an example of a resource searching platform that is comprehensive. So let me show you how these compare with Discovery Service. One of the things that people appreciate about Google Scholar is the fact that it is very comprehensive when you put in a search. So for instance, if I put in something like prostate cancer and obesity, Google Scholar gives me 86,000 results. My first result here is 1984. My second result here is 2003. While I can do things like sorting this by date instead of by relevance, the problem with that is when you have 86,000 results, you can imagine you'd have to go through a lot of them in order to find ones that are relevant. The moment that I choose sort by date as opposed to by relevance, I've now taken my key search terms of prostate cancer and obesity and pushed them to the side in preference of a date sort. So again, while Google Scholar gives you a lot of comprehensiveness, its lack of relevancy ranking tends to give you more distractions than actual results. So let's go to something like PubMed. Now when I conduct that same search in PubMed, instead of getting 86,000 results, I get 929. These results are typically defaulted to most recent as its ranking. You can change this to most relevant as well. But in either case, you're going to notice that with a relevancy search in PubMed, unlike what I got in Google Scholar, with my first results being 1984, 2003 for a most relevant search, in PubMed, my relevancy search gives me articles from 2016, 2015. Again, a lower number of results, but much better relevancy ranking. So this is why most scholars will prefer to use PubMed as opposed to Google Scholar, so that they're getting more relevant results. If I take that same search term and I search it within Discovery Service, now I have the best of both worlds. Simply populate your search, click the search button, and similar to as you would expect in Google Scholar, you have the ability to search and get 1,014 results. Now, while this is more than the results we got from PubMed, it is less than the results we got from Google Scholar. Depending on how your profile is set up as a default, you can both broaden or narrow your search against our index of information. Currently, my particular profile is set up to only pull back results where I have full text for that particular item. So as you are noticing here to the right, and we'll go into this in a few moments, every one of my results has a PDF full text option. But in Google Scholar, I have results that go beyond my actual full text offerings. The same is with PubMed. These 929 results have nothing to do with my full text access. These are just the total number of results for the topic. So if I want to make apples to apples in Discovery Service, depending on how, again, your profile is configured, if you have a limiter like full text, I simply turn this off. Now I'm getting back results of 1,928, so this is going beyond just my full text capabilities, and it's looking at other resources that I may have to order or pay for with my corporate account. Also within Discovery Service, we have the ability to broaden our search even further. Currently, I am not searching within the full text of articles, but this is an option that I have so that my words prostate cancer and obesity don't simply show up in the title, abstract, or author-supplied keywords, also known as the subject, but if my words show up anywhere in the article. Again, this can be a great resource for broadening my results to get us towards what you would expect from something like Google. So in my first search, I get 29,902 results. That's by me telling Discovery Service to also search for these terms within the full text, but I am still limiting my results just to those results that I have full text access to. Again, if I deselect full text for this particular profile, now I've gone up to 30,871 results. So you can see that within a Discovery Service profile, there are many options for ensuring that you're able to reduce the noise from results that either are beyond your full text offerings or that do not contain your search terms in your title, abstract, or keyword. If I go back to a product like PubMed, with these 929 results, PubMed does not have the ability to search within the full text. It is only giving me these terms if it's in the title, abstract, or subject terms. So that gives you a very quick overview of the difference between the broadness of something like a Google Scholar, the precision of something like a PubMed, and the ability to do both in something like a Discovery Service. If I stay with the comparison between Discovery Service and PubMed, what I also have the ability to do, again, PubMed does not have the option to search within the full text, so if I turn that option off, I now have my 1,928 results for prostate cancer and obesity. Within Discovery Service, we also give you the ability to refine your search. We call these our facets. If I go to one of my facets called Content Provider, I have the ability to say, of all of these results, the 1,928, just show me the ones that are coming from Medline. Medline is the indexing that's also found in PubMed. So instead of the 1,928, now I go down to 1,020 results. This is basically an apples-to-apples comparison with what I got initially in PubMed, 929. So this should really go to satisfy users of PubMed that the results that you would expect to find in PubMed, you do have in Discovery Service. And you have the ability to even limit your results by that particular platform. So while both PubMed and EBSCO Discovery Service give you very precise results, Discovery Service does have the ability to go beyond simply the indexing of PubMed. So within this 1,928 results, you have to ask yourself the question, how many relevant results did I miss searching PubMed alone? In this case, close to 1,000. That's doing a basic search within Discovery Service. You also have the ability to do an advanced search. So in this case, when I put in the search term of prostate cancer and obesity, I was just searching for the words within the title, subject, abstract, or if I elect to turn on this expander, I can also search within the full text of articles. But let me do this search a different way. This time, instead of having the word obesity be part of those fields, I want the word obesity to be part of the subject term. So the difference here is I am looking for articles specifically about obesity that include prostate cancer. Discovery Service has the ability to search on multiple field codes, author, title, subject terms. This gives you the ability to really be precise on your result list. This time I have 529 results, again looking at just the results where I have full text access, or if I want to expand beyond that, I've got 1,026 results. If I look at this first result, I can see what Discovery Service has returned. It's found the word obesity as part of the indexing or subject term for this particular article, as well as the fact that my words prostate cancer are within the keyword data. I can show that through all of these 1,026 results, where I have now pulled back very relevant articles termed obesity as part of the subject. If I go into PubMed and I want to conduct a similar type of search, I can go into the advanced search here, type in my prostate cancer, and I have the ability to use things like mesh headings in order to find a specific term like obesity. So now, from PubMed, I have 499 relevant results. Google Scholar does not have this capability. If I go into Google Scholar and I want to conduct a search, and I go into the advanced search, it does not index by subject terms. So I have very little options to filter from these 86,000 results to something that's more meaningful. But this is the capability you have with Discovery Service. Also from the advanced search, you have multiple other options like Boolean search operators, finding all of my search terms, or finding any of my search terms to either broaden or narrow your search. I mentioned the search within full text as an option that you can enable. And apply equivalent subjects is where we will automatically map terms that are similar. On this particular profile, my default search does limit to full text. Your profile may not. If you want to limit your results, however, you simply select this checkbox. You can also reduce your results to scholarly peer-reviewed, or if you want to search within a specific publication, like Nature, you can simply type it in. You also have the ability to limit by publication dates. So that is going to be your difference between a basic search and an advanced search, your additional search options, as well as your ability to select the field codes. Once you've conducted your search, you always have the ability to come back to your search history tab. This will show you your running tab of searches that you've conducted during your current session. And any of these searches I can recreate by simply hitting the rerun button, and this will take me back to my original 1,014 results that we started off with. This can be a great way to curate your searches, identify any terms you want to reuse. I should also mention that when you pull back results in Discovery Service, in addition to ranking those results by relevancy, we will attach your full text based off of your company's subscriptions. Again, you have different options. In this case, I have just displayed my full text from EBSCO PDFs, but I also have the ability to go beyond my subscriptions to find other relevant results where we have multiple ways of acquiring that full text. In the case for this first one, the impact of central obesity, if I do not have a subscription to this particular journal, I have the option to create a document request form, which will automatically capture the metadata for that particular item and give me the opportunity to simply put in my name and information and have this request form go to my knowledge manager in order for them to get me the full text. This is a manual way that I can ensure that I have the opportunity to get to that full text from this result list. Some organizations will prefer to use a document delivery service like WriteFind. In that case, I am presented with a link that when I simply select it, I have to log in to my WriteFind. This could be using your email and or password, depending on how your organization is configured. But once you've logged in, you will now be taken to that full text PDF based off of your subscription to that document delivery service. So Discovery Service gives me a great way to replace my Google Scholar or my PubMed with the most comprehensive index of journals, magazines, and ebooks, enabling me to conduct searches with both broad, comprehensive results, as well as very narrow and precision results based off of my ability to use field codes, subject terms, as well as limiters, like limiting it to full text. Once you've created your search and you've gotten the results you need, it also gives you a cloud-based platform in order to save your findings. By going to the sign in the upper right-hand corner, you have the ability to either create a new account or log into an existing account. When you log into your account, Discovery Service gives you the ability to save any of your previous searches. So now that I've logged in, and it says here, not Chappie, as an indicator that I've logged in as Chappie, I simply go to my folder icon, and you can see where I have the ability to save any of my previous research. So I can go into my folders from previous searches. I can look at previous articles that I've created directly from my result list. So once you've created a login account, if you're conducting a search and you're looking at your search history and you have identified a search that's worked very well for you, for instance, I like this particular search I did for the subject of obesity because I got only 529 results. Once I've logged into a My EBSCOhost folder, I can simply select this result and I can save it. And I can save it a few ways. One way, if I give it a name here, prostate cancer. One way that I can save it is as a save search. This is where I have the ability to come back and simply hit the rerun button and it's going to populate my query. I can do this in 6 weeks. I can do this in 6 months. It will save this search query in my folder for posterity. The other thing that I can do is what's called an alert. With an alert, instead of saving the search, I have the ability to automate and have that search run automatically at any frequency that I choose. And Discovery Service will push any new results to me either in an email form or as an RSS feed. Personally, I prefer RSS feeds, but you can use any of these processes. So that is again the difference between doing an alert and a save search. But in this case, I'm going to, since I've logged into my folder, I'm going to save this as a save search. So I simply give it a name. And then I hit save. Now that search of prostate cancer has been added to my folder. So I simply go to my folder here. I looked at my saved searches, and you can see that I've now added that prostate cancer saved search. So this can be a great way to reuse searches in the future. Now, while saving a search can be very helpful, you also have the ability to save individual articles. If I go back to my result list, I'm going to click on my chevron here just to minimize my search history. And from my 1,928 results that were relevant, or again, if I want to limit this just to results that I have full text access to, I select this limiter, now I have just 529, I can select this folder here to the right. Now this folder works, again, once you've logged in to your My EBSCOhost folder, because it needs someplace to put it. If I want to keep this particular article here about does inflammation mediate the obesity, I can simply click the plus sign on the folder, and it gives me the opportunity to choose which one of my EBSCOhost folders I want to save this to. Because I created this folder called BioTech Source Share, I'm going to save it there. I'm going to grab one other article here. I'll grab this fortifying the treatment, and I want to save it to the exact same place. So now if I go to my EBSCOhost folder, and I navigate to this BioTech Source Shared folder, I can see that I have two articles. And these are the two articles that we created. So this is a great way that you can use the Discovery Service cloud-based My EBSCOhost folder to curate your results. Some customers also like to share those results with others. Maybe you're part of a team or a group, and as a knowledge person is identifying items of relevance, you might want those items to also dynamically show up for other participants in your team. The icon that you see here beside these folders indicate that these are shared folders. You can share any folder that you create within My EBSCOhost folder. We have instructions for how to do this by simply doing a Google search for EBSCO shared folder. And you've got these three support cases for how to create a shared folder, how to accept a shared folder, and how to use the shared folders. But I'll take you through an example here. So currently, my Pet Abs folder is not shared. Any folder that you would like to share, you would simply select the share button, and it's going to give you the opportunity to put in the email address of whoever you want to share it with, as well as determine whether this is a restricted share or a free use share. What that means is if it's restricted and I share it, the password can only be used by that individual. If it's unrestricted and I share it, in 6 months another individual needs it, I can simply resend them the original email with the password, and they will also be able to add this folder. It does not limit you. I've already sent this email for this particular folder of the BioTech Source shared folder. If I go to this shared folder currently in My EBSCOhost, the one that's Chappie, you can see that I do not have any subscribers at this time. I'm going to subscribe to this folder in just a moment, but before I do, I want to show you what it looks like if you have subscribers to a folder. So this is another one of my folders that I shared previously, and for this one you can see that I actually do have a person sharing it. It's called Shared Folder Demo, and that's where I'm going to go in just a few moments. So you have the ability to identify how many people have signed up for a folder, to delete them, and to maintain all of that information from wherever you initially started. But again, for right now, for the BioTech Source shared folder, right now I have 2 articles in it, and I'm going to share that in a different profile. Currently, I'm in my Firefox. I'm going to switch over to another user ID, and I'm going to use my Chrome browser in order to distinguish between the two. If I log in as someone else on this particular profile, And this is going to be called my shared folder, demo. Once I've logged in, and again, this would be an analogy of a different person on your group. They've created their own My EBSCO folder. So now instead of being Chappie, I am Chappelle. That distinguishes from this folder where I created my actual share. In the Chappelle profile, if I go here to My EBSCOhost folders, you will currently see I do not have that BioTech Source. BioTech Source shared is not an option. If I go into my email, however, this is the email that I received when I elected to share that folder. And within this email, for BioTech shared folder, I have this passcode. All I simply need to do is take that passcode and go to my new profile, the one for Chappelle, where I would like to have this folder added. Simply select the Add button, populate in the passcode, and hit Submit. Once I've done that, I will start to see under my shared folders the BioTech shared folder. And I can see within that BioTech shared folder, it's already populated those 2 articles that I had previously. Again, just to reiterate how this works, once you've accepted a share, if I go back to my result list as Chappie, and this time I add another result to my folder, so this time I'm going to add item number 7, associations of serum lipid levels, to my BioTech share folder. If I go into my folder and verify that that particular 3rd article is now there, I now have 3 articles in this 3rd one, association serum. I can simply go back over to my previous Chappelle account. I simply need to get out of the folder just to give it a moment to update, and then go back into the folder. And now I look, and my BioTech Source has 3 articles, and it includes the article that we added. So that's how you can use the My folder to both save searches as well as articles, and the shared folder to dynamically share those with team members. If I go back to my original search, you have a few other options for sharing this information. If it is the entire group of results that you want, in this case my 529 results on prostate cancer in the subject obesity, instead of sharing them one article at a time to my folders, you may have the ability to email a link to download all 529 citations. If your profile does not have this option under the Share button, simply notify your Knowledge Manager and we can have that enabled. What this will allow me to do is by simply clicking this option, I'll get the citation information for all 529 results. This is great if you need to curate this for documentation of some type. If I didn't want to do a bulk export using the download link, you also have the ability from within a record, if you use some kind of a reference manager like Zotero or RefWorks or EndNote, you can from here do an export of the citation information as well. So this is how you would be able to pull this information out to a third-party piece of software and also be able to curate your results. So you have multiple options, either using the My EBSCO folder, our bulk export, or our export manager in order to pull out citation information. Hopefully, what you found is that EBSCO's Discovery Service is a very comprehensive replacement to searching something like Google Scholar alone, which can be very broad but not very defined or relevant as far as its results, or something like PubMed, which is very precision for its results, yet lacks the ability to either go beyond its own indexing or take into account any of the subscriptions that you hold as a specific entity. The platform gives you multiple options for saving and curating your results, as well as the ability to share those results with others, as well as providing needed report and metrics information to your knowledge managers so that they can identify any gaps you might have in your full text coverage. Hopefully this has been helpful. Please feel free to let us or your knowledge managers know if you have any additional questions about using your EBSCO Discovery service. Thank you.